In all of these situations, I'll say whether the defender should have been sprinting to defend or should have been not sprinting to defend, and to say which, obviously the other option would have been the better of the two to defend the attack. Here, as the defender, I should have been not sprinting. By not sprinting, you'll be able to deal with the quick change in direction. Again, I shouldn't have been sprinting. I would be able to deal with the change in direction. The play is developing. Here again, standoffish. But then over here, I wasn't sprinting, so I was able to challenge him. Here, he tries to turn, and I wasn't sprinting, so I was able to deal with the ball. The reason why he gets past me here is because I'm sprinting to make the challenge. If my trigger was not pulled down, then he would not have gotten past me so easily, got on goal, and had an easy shot. In this situation, neither of the two are sprinting, therefore the defender is able to deal with the attack much better. The attacker is using close control and not sprinting, so then I was able to get close and obviously tackle the ball much easier. I wasn't sprinting either, made it easy for me to tackle him. In this example, the goal was scored because the defender was sprinting to anticipate the turn of the player, whereas the attacker simply turned without using sprint. Everyone knows when you turn without using sprint, turns and are much more effective and accurate. In this situation, the attacker wasn't sprinting and neither was the defender, therefore I was able to tackle the ball quite easily. In this example, you can clearly see that Van Persie is running away from the defender, and I wasn't able to challenge him because I was just sprinting, not even getting close to him and making an attempt to play the ball, just sprinting alongside of him whilst he's dribbling. In this example, you can see that the attacker simply tried to dribble past the defender, and the defender wasn't sprinting and not having any of it, therefore able to deal with the threat, any change in direction. Here, Jovino gets this far into the box from sprinting and having a good bit of pace, go outside, but then when I then go to dribble inside, the defender also isn't sprinting, so he's able to deal with any other change in direction that comes from there. The key to defending is being able to change your direction. This happens so often at the start of games where both of you and the attacker just go the same direction and you often tackle the ball. Changing direction is so important, and if you as the defender is not able to deal with the change in direction, then you're gonna be left behind instantly as soon as you make the wrong decision. Both attacker and defender are sprinting, therefore defender is much more equipped to deal with the attack. Both sprinting, the defender has a better chance of tackling the ball. How often does this happen to you, where you just get left for dead out of nowhere, and it's simply because you as a defender are not able to deal with the change in direction? Okay, right here we can see that Valencia is pacing it down the wings, and then I get close sprinting whilst he's sprinting, and then I give away the penalty. And at first I didn't think it was a penalty because he might have gone over easily, but when you review it, you can clearly see the defender was in a bad position. He wasn't able to deal with whatever the attacker was going to do next, and that's simply because his positioning was wrong. I should have carried on sprinting as long as possible until then he made the change in direction. I would have relinquished my sprint button and then been able to tackle him much easier. Look here, Raphael just clearly steals the ball away from Gibbs, and that's because he wasn't sprinting and he was able to see my change in direction. And right here, I clearly saw he was going to change direction, and because I wasn't sprinting, I was able to then just go the same direction as him. I wasn't at a disadvantage because I was sprinting off in another direction. Look right here, he runs circles right around me, and that's simply because I was trying to sprint towards him and tackle him, and he wasn't sprinting at all. Then, to get back at him and defend better, I sprinted to keep up with him, which is a good thing to do. But then right here, when he's able to get the shot off, is because then he wasn't sprinting and I was. In this example, I didn't sprint, and then he does me for pace. He beats me easily. There he doesn't sprint, and then does me for technique, and then gets a shot off. Attacker wins this situation with pace. I'm defending without pacing. Then here, I didn't get the ball because he paced past me again. And in this final situation, you can see that he tried to pace, and then I just paced him in defense, and I was able to clear up the ball and then get rid of it. So to conclude, when the attacker is sprinting at you and you're sprinting, you can deal with his sprint. The moment he starts to change direction and go left or right through not sprinting, you must, as the defender, stop sprinting as well. That makes you able to deal with any change in direction. Conversely, when you're attacking, when you notice that the defender is not sprinting, that's the time for you to sprint and then twist him up and just pace past him. but it's literally a game of chess. While you're sprinting, you're trying to have them not sprinting, and whilst you're not sprinting, you're trying to make them sprint. So it really is a game of chess. But to deal with these tricky attackers, defend correctly at the right time. You have to be sprinting when they're sprinting, not sprinting when they're not sprinting, and then switch between them as quickly as they do. That gives you the best chance of dealing with their changes in direction. Anyway, thank you. It's been a wireless gameplay. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for some more. Peace.